anti-colonial movements occupied by Russia, the last colonial empire in Europe, together with all supporters of free nations, stand at a key geopolitical crossroad. We acknowledge Canada's important geopolitical role as a G7 member and its responsibility to protect international peace, security, and global stability, as well as democracy and the rule of law. We thereby declare that any real and substantial changes within the territory of the Russian Federation are not possible without its complete and unconditional defeat in its genocidal war against Ukraine. Decolonization and de-imperialization of the Russian space will become a reality only in the context of the complete deoccupation and victory of Ukraine, which today is the bastion and vanguard of free world's fight against tyranny. We call on Canada and all friends and allies of Ukraine to provide all the necessary assistance, military, financial, diplomatic, informational, material to Ukraine and in its fight for democracy and freedom. The support should be provided without any delays and interruptions to save the lives of the brave Ukrainian men and women in uniform, as well as Ukraine's civilians.
So we urge the government of Canada and other Western allies for maximum cooperation and support for all the captive nations and colonial regions still occupied by Russia, with the final goal of liberation and full independence. In addition, we call for all Western nations to isolate Russia for its brutal aggression and expansion by means of a complete trade embargo.
The political, diplomatic, and financial resources of all Western governments should be directed to social movements that are committed to building independent democracies in cooperation with government in exile of states such as the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria, as well as movements for independence and committees abroad for the deoccupation of Bashkortostan, Ingria, Buryatia, Cherkessia, Tatarstan, Siberia, Karelia, Smolendia, Ingushetia, Sakha, Kuban, Chuvashia, Oirat, Kalmykia, Pskov, Ural, Tiva, Amberland, Khakassia, Altai, Don, Udmurtia, among others.
When it is no longer a colonizer of nations, Moscow, as part of a future independent Zalessia or Moscow Republic, will cease to be a center of global conflict and terrorism. The Moscow Republic can evolve into a peaceful, post-industrial state whose government will be focused on the needs and quality of life of its own citizens, rather than colonial wars and internal repression.
Canada serves as a valuable example for Indigenous people and their right to govern themselves. After years of struggle, the Inuit people were able to regain their right to control their land and resources. Nunavut can serve as an example for the colonized captive nation in Russia. Together with Greenland, an autonomous region in Denmark, the indigenous people of the Arctic can be a model for the Komi, Sami, Nenets, Sakha, Evenks, Chukchi, Inuit, and other circumpolar nations trapped in Russia.
In order to end the modern axis of evil represented by China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, an alliance of authoritarian dictatorships seeking to destroy international law and human rights through war, terrorism, repression, and propaganda, we must intensify cooperation both between Europe, Canada, and the United States, as well as with the democratic states of the Pacific region, Japan, the Republic of Korea, Taiwan, Australia, the Philippines, and New Zealand.
It is time to abandon, for once and for all, the so-called theory of de-escalation vis-à-vis Russia and act proactively, decisively, and systematically, supporting the final decolonization of Russia by transforming the Russian Federation into several free and independent states is the only lasting solution for global security, peace, and stability. These new post-colonial states will truly have the potential to become reliable allies and partners of the democratic world. Ottawa, Canada, November 19, 2024.